Good evening, everyone. How are we doing today? I hope you've all had a wonderful week. It's been another week on the struggle train for us. I think, man, it's been tough, but what can you do, right? Can't all be sunshine and rainbows, can it? It's you're gonna have the good with the bad. So we've done what we've done. We've done mistakes, dealing with the bad days. So today we'll talk a little bit about persevering through all the crap. Which I guess kind of ties into the other two, but for those who haven't seen them, hopefully this will help somebody. It's been a real difficult one. I've had a project this week, for the last 10 days really, to try and come up with a shape, and it's got a bunch of compound miters. So for those that don't know, like this is a mitre, and then a compound mitre might be like that, which is fine. But when you have like 3 or 4 of them, each one, if one goes out half a degree or a degree, it trashes everything else, and nothing fits right or straight, and it needs to fit. I need those mitre joints solid. I can't have like a, let me show you. So like, I need it to fit like that for strength. If it's that or this, it's no good. It's scrap. And I literally, I'll show you, look, I think, this is my scrap pile. Well, most of my scrap pile. Let's tuck that on the floor. So, persevering. I'll tell you a little story, right? Me and Michelle, we've got 3 kids. I guess most of you will see the pictures of them, and I try not to keep them on social media too much, but yeah, we've been together a long time. I guess you could say childhood sweethearts and all that. Well, high school sweethearts. I don't know. We met kind of a few years after that, but I was 20 when Michelle and I had our first child, and she was born in March. I was let go from a building job in December. It was right at the start of one of the downturns, and so I spent like 3.5 months out of work, and I was going a little bit spare. You know, the first week or 2, maybe even a month, especially if you've got a little bit of money in the bank to see you going. I mean, you guys that have been on furlough and stuff, you kind of understand that. It's nice. And then for me, I need to work. I need to be active. I need to be pushing myself. So, you know, you do fizz and stuff like that. But when the baby came, when Faith came, I wanted to work. I wanted to get sorted. I wanted to be able to provide for the family like any good dad does. And there was no work. I mean, there was nothing. I'd go to the job centre every week. I'd look online. I'd call up. I'd send so many application forms in for anything, like everything I applied for, just hoping that something would come back, and nothing did. And then I was like, do you know what? I did this for a while, and then what I started doing was going around to the building sites in town and in the area, asking if they had any work, and they didn't. And so I went back the next day, and they didn't. And I went back the next day, and they didn't. And I went back every single day for 2 weeks. So every day I got up, got myself squared away, went out for a run, did some fizz, got changed, and then went out, and I went round. Hey man, have you got any work? Nope. Okay, cool. Hey man, have you got any work? Nope. Okay, cool. I'll come back tomorrow then. See if you got any more. And he was like, we're not gonna have any. I said, that's cool, I'll come back. I did this for about 2 weeks. So I guess maybe 10, 15 days worth of like actually going and knocking on the door, speaking to the boss. And eventually I got a job. And it wasn't the greatest job. I spent most of my time sweeping up or installing insulation, or like carrying around plasterboard and stuff like that, but it was a job, and it was money, and I could support my family. And if I hadn't persevered through that and through all of the setbacks and everything like that, it wouldn't have happened. And I think it's really important when things are difficult that you don't give up, and you keep pushing through, and you keep persevering, especially like in the face of adversity, especially when things aren't working out, especially when it's all going down the toilet, man. You've just got to stay. There's a difference between staying positive and being realistic about it, like positive and pragmatic, I guess, but it's important to be pragmatic, but it's also important to be positive and have the faith in your own abilities. So this week, I have been pulling what little hair I have left out. Little hair, what little hair I have left out trying to get this sorted. And it has stressed me out no end. To the point, I'm a fairly confident person, and I sat there today and I tried everything this week. Literally everything to try and figure this out. I'd redrawn it like 10 times. I'd tried to eyeball it. I tried to use one of my machines. I tried to do some bits and pieces on the computer. Nothing worked. And I always find there's two voices in your head, right? There's the one saying, get on with it, you can do this, have faith. And then the other one going, you can't do it, mate, just suck it off, you're not good enough. And today, I hate to say it, but that one that was saying to me, you can't do it, got louder and louder and louder. And every single time I tried something and it didn't work, it just said, you can't do this, mate, you're not clever enough. And I was like, screw you, man, I can do this. And I did something else and it didn't work. And I did something else and it didn't work. And this voice was getting louder and louder and louder. And I thought, you know what, screw you. I'm gonna have a brew and take 5 and then come back and attack it from a different angle. And I did what I usually do when I'm struggling, which is, it's always the thing I love, one of the things I love the most about the relationship me and Michelle have is, she's like, I can sound off at her, so I can go to her and I can say, look, I've got this problem, I don't know what to do with it, how can I fix it? And 99% of the time she has no idea what I'm talking about, so if I'm rebuilding an engine or building something in a workshop or dealing with something on the computer, no idea. But she'll come out with a different angle, like with a different viewpoint, which is why I always say perspective is different, is so important. If you can take a step back and attack something from a different angle, come at it from a different way, sometimes something will click. And I was explaining the problem to her, and I was, man, I felt rubbish. But I was explaining the problem, and I felt really crap about it. And she went off to go make a brew for the both of us. And then I was watching a couple of YouTube videos, and it just so happened that the guy said something. Boom, light bulb went off. Got it. Went back, redrew it, got the angle sorted, and check it out. I figured out what the problem was, figured out why it was wrong, and I've rebuilt myself a new jig this evening, and we're going to smash it out this weekend. But it was that feeling when you persevere and you push through and you figure something out, it's just amazing. I used to get that feeling from Fizz, right? So going out and doing like set myself a target, we'll go out and run 7 miles, go out and run 10 miles, we'll try and smash out, I don't know, smash out 100 press-ups in one go, that sort of stuff, do 15 pull-ups and then 100, all that sort of rubbish. And that's where I got my enjoyment from, that's where I got my confidence from, that's where that perseverance and pushing through, and you get that feeling. And obviously I don't have a huge amount of time to do that anymore, so that feeling comes from being here in the workshop, and it's so important when you start doubting yourself to trust your ability, trust what you can do. Don't listen to the naysayers, don't listen, because you'll get loads of people say, you can't do it. Screw them, because they're not here doing it, they're trying, like you're trying. So sod the people who don't want to help you. There's a fly. And yeah, screw them. And where was I? Yeah, you've got to persevere, you've got to push through, you've got to have faith in yourself. But don't listen to that little voice that's telling you can't do it. Listen to this one. Block this one out and amplify this one, man. I think it's a beautiful thing if you can find that. And I guess the best way to do it is to start with something small, right? They always say if you've got a difficult day ahead of you, start with an easy task, give yourself a confidence boost, and then build on that. What is it they say? They say about building a wall. The wall doesn't appear, it's one brick at a time. Like left foot, right foot, small steps and all those cliches, man. But yeah, perseverance is key. It's so easy to give in, it's so easy to sack things off. And it's difficult to push through, it's difficult to have faith in yourself, it's difficult to keep going. But yeah, it's something that we can all do. All of us are stronger than, all of us are a hell of a lot stronger than what we believe we are. So yeah, anyway, just thought I'd share that with you. Have an awesome weekend, you take it easy, and I will speak to you next time, all right? Have fun.